Cameron, you're on Modern Rock Live with Phish.
Hey, I was just wondering how the band's musical direction has changed, like, since 1985. If it's changed at all.
Wow. I think we're on this last album, or just playing we just started this tour 4 nights ago in Lake Placid, and the first night of the tour we did a lot of material off the new album, and the changes that come about can be kind of subtle for us. A certain way of jamming that's a little bit different than we had on the previous tour, that sort of a thing. So it's at no one point have we made a decision, we're going to really change the way we're doing things and go about it completely different. But over time, just with experience making a new album, having played the Clifford Ball, having been out on tour, for a number of years, things just sort of slowly evolve, and we start to hear each other differently. I start to be able to hear things in the drumming or the guitar or the bass playing that I hadn't heard before, and pick up on it and connect with it. So it's different ways of connecting and improvising is probably how the changes have come about.
Thanks for your phone call, Cameron. We appreciate it. Phish is with us on Modern Rock Live. Another track from the CD. This is Character Zero on Modern Rock Live.
I was tired.
The name of the new CD is Billy Breathes, and that's Character Zero. It's Phish, and Greg's on Modern Rock Live. Greg, welcome, and thanks for calling.
Hi. You guys have such a great following among your fans that I just want to know, why would you want commercial success?
Well, I can answer why we would want to make a good album, which was much more the intention than commercial success. I mean, I really think that we've gone about album making in some strange ways. We've been so focused on playing live for so long that it's always felt like, this is Trey talking, when I wrote songs, my intent was usually I would fill these kind of holes in the set. I think, boy, I wish I had another Cavern or something that I always, we always play Cavern at the end of the set. I wish I had another rock tune like that. But we just got to a point where we wanted to conquer the album blockade in a certain way. And it was fun, I've never experienced studio work in the same kind of way as the last 3 months. It's one of the great experiences of my life, staying up till the sun comes up. And so
in the end, I think a lot of people think that the live show is what we're about, and the albums are something that we either haven't enjoyed or or something about it hasn't quite fit with us. But it's a different process, and it can be just as much fun for us as playing a live show, but a totally different experience.
Let me add one more funny thing to this.
Yeah.
If commercial success means money, I make my money off playing live, not off records. We've never really made any money off playing records. So, what define commercial success?
Nah,
there you go.
Don't worry about it. CJ, you're on with Phish.
Hi. I was wondering, this is basically from the end of Demand and Hoist and other times when you played live. You have the climax of Demand. You play Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. And I know a couple other live shows you played, Alvina Malkeinu, a couple Hebrew folk songs. I was wondering where you got the influence from that and why.
This is Mike talking now. It was probably more me than anyone, because I went to a Jewish day school, and we used to sing those songs almost every day in my classes. Actually, I didn't sing because I was too shy. And my teachers would say, Michael, you're not singing. And so now I'm kind of making up for that, and hopefully the karma has caught up with me.
Michelle, you're on Modern Rock Live with Phish.
I was wondering how you feel about being compared to the Grateful Dead.
I feel, I feel good about it in many ways. They defined a lot of what I love about music, especially about live music, and this is Trey talking, so, I think it's funny how many people, when they do interviews, say, well, I know you don't like to hear this question, and I think that oftentimes I'm like, well, I don't mind hearing that question, but when we were first coming onto the scene, when no one knew who we were, and that was kind of all that people talked about, it was a bit of a pain, but we owe them so much. They forged the path for us and a lot of other bands. Even, their influence in American music is seeping into. Metallica's got a taper section, and Pearl Jam is trying to do a mail order ticket. You know, they were the first people to do any of that, playing the different songs every night, making live touring a great experience for fans.
And bringing a higher level of improvisation to rock and roll on a stage, which, you know, before rock and roll was much more of a set thing. You know, you had your show and everything, and jazz was like the world of improvisation. And not that they were very much of a jazz-influenced band, but they brought that kind of an element to an arena stage, which opened a door for a lot of bands.
They brought risk. They brought risk and good taste into arena rock. And, you know, for that, they're going to go down in history as the band that did that. Thanks.
Good question, Michelle. Thanks. Wait, when we come back, Phish will be taking more of your calls on America's #1 alternative music show, Modern Rock Live.
Radio frequency 100.3. This is Philadelphia's new rock revolution. Y100.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Calderone, live from New York, and you're listening to Interactive Alternative Radio. This is Modern Rock Live, America's #1 alternative music show, and the only show that gives you the chance to interview modern rock's biggest bands. Tonight, we are very pleased to have Phish with us. They'll be taking your calls and playing cuts from their latest album. And a little bit later, the Refreshments will be joining us from Phoenix, Arizona, taking your calls and playing live for us as well. If you got a question for either of tonight's bands, call us right now, toll-free, 1-800-223-ROCK. That's 1-800-223-7625. Phish's CD is called Billy Breathes. Another track from the CD is called Theme from the Bottom on Modern Rock Live. On Modern Rock Live, it's Phish and Theme from the Bottom. They join us here at our New York studios. We go back to our phones and talk to Brian. Hey, Brian, thanks for calling.
Hey. Hi, I was just wondering why Fishman changed his appearance in the new album.
That's a good question, man. That is a good question.
Well, Phish?
I kind of consider myself to be like the chameleon man, you know. I want to remain incognito so that I can, you know, no matter what happens to our career, I can always like walk out on the street and no one will recognize me. So I always, you know, it's like, this time I went and got like a laser operation on my eyes and greased my hair back and shaved, you know. And, you know, it'll keep changing. It's a way of staying incognito, you know, with all the fame and attention we're getting and everything now. It's, you
There's
know.
also the fact that they're doing an article about the band in GQ, and when Phish heard that, he went back.
That's it, man.
Well, okay, all right. They blow my cover. I wanted to look, you know, as GQ as possible because they said that, you know, if I looked the role that maybe I'd get on the cover. So I was just trying really hard.
Keep trying. Jenny is on the phone with us on Modern Rock Live. Jenny, thanks for calling.
Hi, what are your individual goals outside of music?
We know Phish's already, so...
to be on the cover of
GQ magazine.
Goals outside of music?
Oh, I'd like to actually make a couple films if I ever had the time to. This is Mike talking.
What exactly? What kind of movie?
I don't know. They're just stray imaginations right now, so it's hard to know in advance. I am actually making one. Yeah. It's called the Outstructional Video. I think that speaks for itself.
Outstructional guitar.
Okay.
Outstructional video.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I kind of always wanted to be an architect.
All right, Mike Brady. Trey?
My goals. I'd like to be a pro hockey player.
All right. All achievable goals from the band. They don't try to set their sights too high, sure. Hockey player in GQ magazine. Matthew, thanks for calling.
Hi. I was wondering how long you've been playing your instruments, and have you guys taken any lessons?
This is Paige. I started taking piano lessons when I was 4 years old, actually, and took lessons for many years.
This is Trey. I played drums my whole youth, and up until my junior year in high school, which was actually 2 years before Phish started. So when Phish started, I had been playing guitar for 2 years. And I did take lessons along the way here and there from different guitarists and plan to continue doing so.
Mike?
Yeah. I had a lot of different teachers, actually, piano first and then guitar and finally bass. So Lots of different teachers.
Phish?
Well, I'm the least educated in the band. I had 3 drum lessons when I was like 13 and to learn how to read music, and I took 1 lesson with Joe Morello, and other than that, I kind of haven't had any lessons.
Okay. There you go. Gavin, thanks for calling Modern
But
Rock
I've been
Live.
playing since I was 7.
No, I know. I'm
Gavin, I'm good, man. No, really, man. It's okay. I'm legitimate.